Hello and welcome everybody. Here we are, SimLeague here at the Laguna Seca circuit for the USA Grand Prix, and this is a bit of a obviously special event. Laguna Seca not usually on the F1 calendar, not these days anyway. And this one does actually have DRS, which is interesting, of course, the drag reduction system, which is used here at FS1, and it is here at Laguna Seca and has been implemented down the main straights. So expect some shenaniganry there, which should be a lot of fun, I'm sure. And so yeah, we've had qualifying, and it's been quite interesting to see. Really, a lot of very close times, and I really do think this could be quite the race. I do think here at the Laguna Seca circuit. As always, alongside me, doing the dual duty of the cams and the commentary is Mr. Quinton Payne. Say hello, sir.
Good evening. Very nice to be here.
Indeed, it's going to be an interesting race, I must say. Right, just one of the drivers as well. They're just confirming the pronunciation of his name there in the chat. I'll try and get it right the best I can. Sorry if I get it wrong. Do try my best here. Yes, no, it's been very interesting, this qualifying session. And yeah, it's all really been very close. And a lot of drivers too. We had 22, I believe, in the server. There's a few of them that have left. Hopefully they'll return before the race starts, just in warm-up, waiting for everything to begin. And yes, it's been very interesting so far this season, of course. Had, Sandeep, of course, doing some good stuff. Sam Howe dominating at this point, with him leading the championship, 116 points. He's only 11 clear of Sandeep. And they're sort of the main two. And the only two in the hundreds too, by the way, which is interesting to note. And the leading team is Tafor as well, in the team constructors, so ahead of Adonis once more. So it's the same in the constructors as it is in the drivers. And it's all very interesting indeed. But yes, of course, as I said, this track, obviously, Laguna Seca, not on the normal F1 calendar, so that's why it's a bit of a special, different event here for SimLeague, which is always quite nice. It's always nice to go Laguna Seca, I think. And so far, of course, the winners in the championship, you've got, obviously, Sandeep and Sam are actually the only two winners so far this season in FS1. 3 apiece, which is interesting. So they're very even Stevens on the wins. And that shows in the championship as it is very, very close. And yeah, I'm definitely be interested to see how this all goes. Obviously, it's only a very short lap around here, just over a minute long in these cars. 56 lap race. So probably looking at just over an hour, maybe an hour 10 or so, I'd say would be the race length on normal time. And yeah, so it should be very interesting indeed. And I guess, assuming that we go to race soon, I'd assume we would, although I think we're waiting on a few drivers to get back into the game. But who's your pick for this one, Quentin?
I couldn't pick out a driver because the top 8 in qualifying were covered by under a second, and we have not seen that kind of overall pace from the entire field for a very long time here. So it's going to be very close. And we've got a few people returning, and even Steve Mitchell, he's returning with Brothers Racing Motorsport, making his second debut again back in FS1, and he took pole position. So if he can keep it going, get a great start, he could be on for a win.
Yeah, indeed, that's a very good point. And yeah, I think it'll be between. I know, as you said, I mean, Mitchell there was up there in qualifying, and I mean, Sandeep, of course, is always up there because he's Sandeep, and of course he is. He wouldn't be complete without Sandeep being up front. And Sam Howe, of course, the legend is Sam Howe. He'll be up there as well, and of course Nilton as well in that spare car. He's got a lot of pace. But it looks like just restart warm up. Unfortunately, looks like a few people are having some issues with connections. Which is a shame, but we'll hopefully get that sorted as soon as possible, as Menno just rejoins the game. And oh my word, who was that? I just saw a car go absolutely flying there as Menno entered the game. I'm not sure who that was, but oh my god.
I think that was Menno when he was joining.
Yes, he's just made his
It is always comical to come to Laguna Seca.
Yeah, no, always, every time, because you always see the cars go flying as there goes another one. Just flying cars as everyone keeps entering the game. Of course, as we have too many cars. That's how many cars we have here tonight. We have too many cars. There's not enough garage slots, unfortunately. So that's why there's cars flying everywhere at the moment. As people enter the game. So Sandeep's sitting in the middle of the track at the moment because he went flying just then. But we have 20. Of course, that's not including Sim Race TV car and Quinton himself. So there's about 18 races in at the moment, but I still think we're down a couple of guys, so I'm not sure how long we're going to wait for them. I assume we'll wait a little bit, but hopefully not too long. Hopefully we can go to racing soon. That's really awkward actually in the warm-up, because Sandeep's car's literally sitting in the middle of the track down the straight, so that's a bit awkward. Anyway, hopefully that'll get sorted as we go along here. So I believe that's someone else is entering again. So hopefully things will be sorted soon. I think we're only waiting on 1 or 2 more guys now, so hopefully they'll enter and we can get going here at Laguna Seca and get into this race, which should be an absolute cracker, I think. Being Laguna Seca, it's a different sort of circuit. It's not one that we really have on any F1 calendars. And, I'm interested to see how this will go with overtaking, because obviously it is a bit of a, especially for F1 cars, it's quite a tight track and a lot of room to get up to speed, except for down the main straight. So I'm expecting passing will be a bit difficult. I really do think it'll be pretty much that turn 1 will be the main spot, and maybe into the left-hander down the back straight might be another one which could have overtaken. But aside from that, I think it's going to be quite hard to overtake round here, as I believe we're just having someone else enter. Yep, there we go. So that's 22. So I reckon we have either one more or we have everyone. I'm not actually sure quite how many exact was. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that was everyone. So I'm pretty sure we should be going to race very soon, hopefully. Yes. Yeah, one of them just pointing out we're a little bit behind schedule. Sorry about that, guys. A little bit behind schedule here. Just had a few issues with the server as someone just leaves there at the awkward time. But yes, hopefully we'll get this all sorted soon. But yes, no, it should be very interesting indeed, this one. Laguna. I haven't actually seen a race around here in a while, I'll be honest. I think last time I saw a race around here was, I believe, a different league in touring cars. I actually raced in that, and that was interesting. Got a little incident with my own teammate, which is a fun time. I remember that one quite clearly. And we accidentally took each other out, which was quite funny. But no, that was a good race. It's always a fun track. Laguna always throws up some interesting racing. I mean, what's your personal opinion on the track, Quentin? One you enjoy?
I always like coming to the special events here at SimLeague, because this forms a part of a special series this season, or every season. There's a few special races, and this is a first, so yeah, it'll be interesting to have like a little keep note of who's doing well at the special events. Because we've got Nordschleife coming up, and then we head to Imola in its 88 configuration, I believe, and they're all the special events this season. So I always enjoy the special events, and the track itself. There's so many great corners, and the Andretti hairpin, and who can forget the corkscrew? Taking an F1 car through there, that needs some bravery.
Yeah, indeed, no, very true. All these special events definitely add a bit of spice, really, to the championship. You get some tracks that these cars would normally go around, or haven't been around in a while. In the case of Imola, of course, not on the championship anymore. But like Laguna Seca, of course, is one that the F1 cars do not go around, so it's a quite different issue. Quite different track. Wow, where issue came from there. I guess it's just echoing the server issues we're just having at the moment, but I think we're just waiting on one person to rejoin, and then we should be theoretically good to go. Hopefully, I'm just waiting. I think on the one driver who just disconnected to hopefully reconnect, and then we shall go. I think on one person I'm going to be watching actually is Nilton, of course. Nilton Gavio. He's obviously in the sim. He's in the spare car at the moment, not actually in a team. And he's got a lot of pace scores. I think he qualified second. He was, I think, under a tenth of a second off the pole lap. So he's going to want to look out for to possibly be challenging for the lead. And of course, he's in the spare car, so he's not actually scoring any points for any team. So it's going to be interesting to have a spare car just kind of duking it out with the guys up the front in the Adonis and the Tafels, which will make things a bit interesting and maybe let them have some points go begging. There we go. Stephen Mitchell just re-entered the game. He was the missing man. And I believe we should theoretically be going, hopefully, preferably before anyone else disconnects, is I think the plan. But very good to see so many guys here. There's 20 races on the grid for this one, which is good. I think it's very good to see these numbers for the FS1 series. I think it's one of the higher attendance races, one of the higher attendance rates of the season, I believe, which is fantastic to see. Really, I really think it's a great thing to see the numbers being so high.
Well, it
And we're
gives us
still...
more action, doesn't it? So,
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, we get to see all the carnage and the chaos and the fun times of the racing here. Of course, we're still down a couple of teams, of course, as well. So we're not actually at complete peak. I think if we had all the teams in place, we'd probably have about 26 or so drivers. So hopefully, eventually, we'll have full numbers. That'd be very nice. But we speak of numbers, by the way. We'll talk about this for the broadcast because, shock horror, it's the first time I think they've raced all season. The Equipo de España team, so the Spanish team, actually is racing. Stelios Vansis is in that car. So they're actually racing tonight, which is fantastic. So yeah, so there you go. So I think I'm pretty sure it's their first race this season, which is fantastic to see. So I'm sure we'll be trying to put them on the cameras a little bit, give you some eye candy of that car. A very pretty.
we do love
car.
an underdog.
Oh, don't we all? Don't we all? It's really fantastic. I know Stelios has got some good pace and good racecraft. He's done a few good results so far this season. So hopefully, for his sake, he can get some good points for them and kickstart their FS1 campaign for the season. Even if it has been delayed, it is good now. And yeah, so hopefully we should go soon. I think we've got only 2 minutes left in warm-up. We might actually run the warm-up till the end. It might be the plan. Hopefully everyone will stay connected for the last couple of minutes now before we go to race. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I am looking forward to this one a lot, especially tyre as well. I'm interested to see how tyre will be because, of course, being a non-F1 track, it's not like we can really use any guidelines here because it is not one that's usually on the calendar for F1. It has been on the FS1 calendar before, so it's not necessarily new for this series, but for F1 cars, it is a bit different, which is something that I'm definitely looking forward to looking at here and watching with interest. I'm hoping the battle will be good too. The front few, as we said, were covered by quite a short distance, so I'm hoping there'll be some nice battling at the front. And with DRS, of course, down that curved main straight, it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. I know apparently it is quite powerful here, so I'm expecting there to be some good overtaking as that really helps out. But yes, I think Steve Mitchell was the man I believe who got pole position in the qualifying, of course, for BRM, for the Brothers Racing Motorsport. He's making his return to FS1 racing here. And that's, I'm sure, great for BRM. They could be scoring some more great points in this FS1 series, as I believe they are. Let's just get my notes up. Also, kudos to Quinton for the commentator's notes. He always does such a fantastic job with these notes. I always really do appreciate it. They're fourth. There you go. So they're fourth in constructors. Just behind the United Autosport team. They're only 6 points behind, and it's quite a gap back to Insignia. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can get a win here or get some really good results. It could be a big amount of points for BRM. Interesting to know as well, Vansis, by the way, so far this season till tonight has raced for BRM, but he's racing for that Spanish team tonight, so that's interesting to see. And he's fourth in the championship, by the way. Only 2 points clear of Nikos there in the Everest car. Only want to score points in the Everest, by the way. Right, so we've only got about 40 seconds left in this warm-up. I believe then we should go to track. Looks like everyone has stayed connected so far, which is good. We'll have 20 races lined up here, which is really good to see, such a numerous grid. Whoop, just my phone having a spaz. And yes, I'm looking forward to this. And I guess before we go, any last wise words from you, Mr. Winton?
All I'm going to say is we're going to have one hell of a race going on here. So many people are so close in terms of pace. I can't wait for to see what the next hour holds for us.
Yeah, indeed, I will echo that sentiment loud and clear. I think I'll echo that one. It will definitely be a very interesting race we've got coming up. Interesting 56 laps of this Laguna Seca circuit. And warm-up has now ended. We should be moving on to the race any time now. And yes, it should be a really fantastic race to watch here. As there we go, the session is advanced.
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
Yes, everyone please bugger off. Yes, please do leave that grid if you don't mind. That's our favourite R-Factor man there. Just tells everyone to bugger off and get off that grid. As hopefully, the cars have just ghosted out on me. Hopefully they do appear. Hopefully it's just a bit of a slow join into the game. Oh, yep, okay. Well, one person has appeared for me. Oh, yeah, there we go. All right, we're good. All right, so here we go. Everyone lining up on the grid to go here for this race. I'll just get this up. There we go. Right. I believe there is a warm-up lap, isn't there, Quinton? There is a warm-up lap, right? I've remembered this right, haven't I?
Yes, I do believe
Yes,
there
there
is
is.
a warm-up lap.
Good, good, right, because I was going to say I have to go through the grid anyway, so that would be preferable. I was going to find that. There we go. Right. Okay, so everyone is lining up now. I believe everyone is on the grid except for Nilton, actually, is one that hasn't. Oh, no, there is. Okay, all right. All right. There we go. Everyone on their formation lap. Stephen Mitchell is the man on pole position for BRM. And it's Nilton Gavio in the spare car for second. So there, as I said, he's not racing for any team, so it's an interesting little side note there. Owen Golding for Insignia, he's third. It's Sandeep Chodha, fourth for Adonis. Interesting that he's not quite up at the front like we were expecting, but still there in the top five regardless. Nico Anastasiopoulos there in the Everest GP car. He's fifth, and it's Sam Howe on the TAFOR car, sixth. That championship leader, a bit further down than I was expecting him, but obviously got the whole race to come back through the field. Tony Mazzalis in the BRM, second of the BRMs is seventh. Now it's Theodoros Ezraglo there in the United Autosport racing car. He's eighth. Michael Baldessaro is ninth in the second TAFOR. Then it's Dogra in 10th in the spare car. You've got veteran Yannick in 11th for Insignia. Joel Piera in 12th for the United Autosport Racing. And it's our favourite car, probably, or the one we'll be trying to watch carefully, the Spanish team, Stellas Vansis in that car in 13th. Second Adonis of Menno Clont, 14th. And you've got Rolf Bass in the GBR team car in 15th. Laurent Satsbu there in the spare car in 16th. And it's Jared van der Wade, as he pointed out to me. It's Jared van der Wade. He's in the Hins Motorsport car. Villamos Hathasi in another spare car. He's 18th. Mark, he did tell me just before how to say it. I think it's Tapu. Tapu, I think he said is how he says his name.
I think.
Tabu, right. Thank you there. Thanks for the correction, Quentin. He's in the second GBR racing car. And then it's Tamas Vagassi there in the FSR car, rounding out your 20-car field here for Laguna Seca, and isn't it a marvellous field to see here? A lot of different colours. We do have a lot of teams here, and as we said, that Spanish car. I must say that Spanish car really does stand out with that red and yellow, colouring. But we should be ready to go here. As we're ready to go any moment now. Lights should be ready. It should be heading off. Here we go. We have 2, 3, 4 lights, and we are go here at Laguna Seca, and here we go. We're away in FS1 as the start is pretty much even between Nilton and Stephen Mitchell, but he gets a better second stage, and he's in the lead as they go into turn one. Nilton at the moment not holding second. Golden goes on the outside in turn one. Gets that position from Nilton. A great move there as they go through the first corner. Everyone going through all right. I don't see anyone off, although actually I do. Rolf Bass has actually gone off the track, and he's lost his front wing in GBR racing cars. So it's a shame for him. A difficult start for him, but aside from that, everyone else has managed to get through okay as Stephen Mitchell leads them around now for BRM. He's got a nice gap already over Owen Golding. And Sandeep Chodha now is in third. He's taken Nilton there as he drops down the field. Sam Howe, is on the back of Nilton now. He's trying to get past him as Nilton makes a bit of a mistake there through the kink, and there you go, Howe through. Now he's into fourth. Nilton down to fifth here on the opening lap. Second to fifth. What a bit of a bad start for him as now he's got Mitsalis on the back of him. Nikos, by the way, also, he's in seventh. He, remember, qualified, I think it was fourth or fifth there, and he's dropped down to seventh already in the Everest GP car. So a few people falling down the field. I think at the moment, actually we have Yannick around as well in the Insignia car. He's gone round. And actually, Menno Clont is out. Well, hang on, let me have a look at this. What's happened here? So unfortunately, Menno Clont is out of the race in the second Adonis car. Let me have a look at what happened here. I'm just going through the replay. Oh, no, he was just an innocent victim. Looks like Baldessaro's gone round, and poor Menno had nowhere to go, and he's gone straight into him, lost his wheel, and that was the end of the race for him. So poor Menno, they're an innocent bystander there, and he's paid the price. As we have Bass and Baldessaro already in, and Yannick as well. They're all already in the pits trying to repair damage. So a bit of a hectic start here, but we have managed to get through the first lap, and they all sort of sorting themselves out. There's a few battles going on through the field. Our favourite car that we'll probably be watching closely throughout the race of Vansis is just having a bit of a battle with Joel Piera. That's for 11th spot as they go around. But at the moment it is Stephen Mitchell there in the BRM car leading from Owen Golding. That's Sandeep Chodha in third from Sam Howe, who's under pressure at the moment from Nilton there. He's just come back at him here after that sort of slow start, trying to come back through the field. We know he has the pace to be at the front. He just had a bit of a bad start. There's all kind of almost a line of stern at the front there. And that is interesting to see as he's just behind now. Of course, DRS not active the first 3 laps as per F1 rules. And so it'll be the third lap, so we'll get DRS and where we can really see some interesting overtaking. Although I must say, I'm finding it quite interesting that Mitchell is already nearly a second out of the way. So it appears that he's trying to get out of that DRS zone early, so he doesn't have to worry about it. At the moment, it is working. He's nearly a second already. In fact, there you go. He's 1.1 seconds clear. So he's already outside that second window, so he doesn't have to worry about DRS. So really a perfect start for Mitchell. They got the jump. Got clear of the first corner and managed to really gallop away so far. It's actually Sandeep Chodha is under the pressure now from Sam Howe. He's really coming at him now in that battle for third spot, and then Nilton's just behind that. It's a bit of a gap back to, I believe that's Mitsalis there, just behind that pack in sixth spot. It's probably one of your closer battles in the field. I'm just looking through now. I think, who's that? That is Theodoros and Dogra having a bit of a battle for eighth, a little further down the field, but I still think that battle for third is probably the closest one. As I said, one retirement so far, and Renault Clont being a bit of an innocent bystander in that turn one. I think it was the second corner shenaniganry there with Bolsaro going round. As we go down the front straight, this DRS now activated, but there you go. It not able to really help how they get past Sandeep. As I said, it's not exactly a huge track here at Laguna Seca. It's only a minute or just over a minute long for a lap in these cars. And especially because of obviously how short the straights are and how this is not normally an F1 track, it's going to make things difficult for passing because you won't really have the straight length to have a go. Look at that, Howe down the inside. As I look down the inside to the left hand, and I able to make the move stick, but he just stuck his nose there in the T4 car. Not quite able to make it stick though there, but he's looking as Nilton's just kind of dropped off the back a bit here. Look, there's Sam Howe all over the back of Sandeep here. He's very close. If we look down the corkscrew, he's going to be brave. If he tries down there, Sandeep goes a bit wide. This could be Sam's chance to have a crack. Would he? In the left hand, will he have a look? No, he doesn't have a look. He's going to stick behind. Probably lining him up for the first corner, I would assume. But Sandeep making a few mistakes here. Very uncharacteristically non-Sandeep. As he just trying to get that consistency going in the Adonis car, of course. There's a bit of a hit there with Sam. As Sam just getting, obviously not expecting Sandeep to be quite so slow through that corner. And that's really made him suffer on exit, and he's going to be under pressure now from Nilton, actually, as they go down the straight, although DRS probably saving him there. Mitsalis, by the way, is just going to the back of this now as well, as these guys are battling away for third, and Nikos is just behind too, so they're all sort of coming together there. As I'm just looking through for anyone else. No, they're all going along. No more retirements. Everyone else is fine, but Stephen Mitchell is leading at the moment by 1.7 seconds. He has really gapped them in this early phase of the race. He just caught that nice jump, and he's just really not looked back just yet. Golding for Insignia in second, and there's that really quite large battle for third between Howe and Sandeep, and also Nilton and Mitsalis also not far behind that one. So if they really start getting into a very, very intense battle, I'm sure Mitsalis will be there to get involved as well. So some interesting racing here in the early stages of this race between Adonis and T4. As who was that? I swear I just saw someone switch position. Or was that? I swear I just saw something. I think my eyes are deceiving me. I thought I saw some switching a position in the midfield. But as we can see here on the straight, looks like Sam is a bit closer this time. He's managed to get the exit right. He's got DRS, of course, as they come down the main straight. We'll see how effective it is. This will be a first test. As you have a look at that, really close to Sandy. That DRS really helping him have a cracker. Is he going to go around the outside? Surely he's not going to hold it around the outside. Nearly. Sandeep squeezes him out. Just goes, no, thank you, I'm going to have that track. And he just squeezes him onto the side, and just forcing Howe to yield there. And that was an interesting little bit of manoeuvring there, wasn't it, Quentin?
Exactly. You got to note that Sam Howe is currently on the super soft tyres, and he was telling me he wanted to start on the super softs to get a better launch and whatnot, because the first couple of positions on the grid are actually slightly uphill, so they have a disadvantage. So he's kind of made a wise choice to go for a little bit extra grip to get that launch, and now he's moved up 2 positions already, and he's fighting for that third last place on the podium. So it's going to be exciting to see how this battle turns out, with 4 of them now pretty much in the hunt for that final place on the podium.
Yeah, indeed, no, I agree there on that one. It will be very much a battle to watch, as obviously as we know. Sam Howe, of course, one of the most experienced guys here, and very experienced sim racer. Same with Sandeep as well. He's also been around the park quite a bit, and Nielsen even as well, as a very experienced sim racer, as well as Mitsalis. They're all quite experienced there in that particular pack. And so it's going to be interesting to see how they go. Look at this Howe again. He's got a really good exit out of that right-hander. He seems to get a better exit than Sandeep, and he keeps looking into left-hander, but he's not quite close enough to actually make the move stick as they go through the kink now. And there he is right behind him. Nilton just behind. And as you can see, Mitsalis, good second and a half back. And as I said, if they start getting quite in a very intense battle and start holding each other up, I suspect Mitsalis will be there to pick up the pieces of that in that BRM car. And good points for them, by the way, as they're first and sixth at the moment. So they're going to get some fantastic points in that particular team if they keep this up. Nilton there having a little peek at Howe on the outside, but come out the last corner again and again. Look at how close he is to the back of Sandeep. I really do think he might have a good chance down the first corner, though. Nilton's actually right behind Sam now at the moment. He might even have a look into turn one, but he's not quite close enough. And they hold station at the moment. Sandeep doing quite a good job, I must say, in defending that spot. I'm just going to have a look through the field and see where else we've got battles. Oh, we've got a bit of a battle going on for 14th there between one of the GBR cars, Pereira and Laurent there in the spare car. That's 14th back there as Baldessaro is trying to catch up to that, by the way, as he's trying to come back through the field from that damage, which he received from that spin of his on the first lap. But Stephen Mitchell still leads. He's 2.8 clear now of Golding. And then it's Sandeep Howe and Nilton there is still fighting very hard for that battle for third spot. Definitely a closest fight on track at the moment. And Mitsalis and Theodoros just behind that. And actually Theodoros is catching on to Mitsalis, which I find interesting. And even, I believe that's Dogra behind. He's kind of slowly catching on to this. They're all kind of chaining together as they all battle away, which is interesting to see. Is Sam Howe just having doesn't really have a look there. He's going to, again, go for that exit and try and get him into turn one, but he doesn't seem to get the exit right. Nilton, on the other hand, seems to get a fantastic exit out of that last corner, and he really seems to be able to challenge. Look at this, here we go, Theodoros actually behind, Nikos behind. He's just got past Mitsalis for that sixth spot in the Everest GP car. I'm not entirely sure if there was a mistake. Let's have a look on the replay what happened here. No, it just looks like, so Mitsalis goes a bit wide on that last corner. That just gives Nikos the chance to pounce and go through. So that's Everest up into sixth spot, ahead of now BRM, and Dogra is still catching, by the way, and even Theodoros in that United Autosports car is still catching on to that as well, by the way. And then, of course, behind that we have Vansis in that very pretty Spanish team car there. But look at this, Howe on the inside as they go for the corkscrew. Oh, there's Sandeep nearly a bit of contact there. He was just didn't give him the room there. He just went, no, I'm going to take this line, thank you very much. And Howe having to take to the dirt there to avoid some contact as they battle away. As Yannick, by the way, is about to get lapped by Mitchell there, as he, of course, had to pit after his little bit of a spin on the early laps. As also, by the way, Mitsalis is in, which is interesting. He's already in lap 9. And he's in the pit lane for the BRM team. So that is interesting to note. Oh boy, Sam Howe goes a bit deep into turn one. That's going to give Nilton a chance. He's a little bit of a sniff down the inside, but he's not really close enough to make the move stick there in that spare car. So it's going to hold station. Oh boy, Nilton actually nearly going to the back of Howe there as they're going to the right-hander. As Nikos is actually catching on to that slowly, and Dogra as well, as they're all kind of, again, as I said, training together in that sort of mid-top 10 part of the field. As Mitsalis comes out right behind Tamas there in the FSR car as they go along. But yeah, very interesting start, I must say. Look at this, Howe again going for it around the outside now into the corkscrew. This will be a brave move. He can make it stick. Sandy having to leave the room. Surely he's not going to do it. Oh, he's nearly done it. They managed to get through there without coming together. Fantastic driving from both of them. This battling, keep an eye on Nikos there behind in the Everest GP car. He is flying up to the back of these guys as they fight away. I'm kind of surprised that they haven't actually lost too much time to Golding up ahead. They've lost a bit of time, but they're not losing bucket loads just yet. But I suspect if they keep battling like they have been, they will soon, as Newton there has a look down the inside of Sam. In fact, he's going to try to go around the outside. He might actually make it stick. He's in the slipstream of Sandeep. Surely he's not going to hold it around the outside, but if he can, it comes to the inside for the next corner. Oh! They have a little bit of a contact there as they go through the corner. Nilton's on the inside. He's going to make it stick. A fantastic move from the spare driver there in the spare car. Nilton Gavio there, a fantastic pass around the outside. Just sticks it on the outside, kept his authority, kept the position, and there he is up into fourth. A fantastic spot. And again, as I said, he's in the spare car, remember, so he's not actually scoring any points for any team. So this is going to affect the Constructors' title for TAFOR, between that battle between TAFOR and BRM, which is your main sort of Constructors fight at the moment. Just look at that. Notice that battling. Look at that. Nikos is about a second behind.
Oh, crash.
Oh,
crash.
no, it is. Oh, it's a crash,
Nilton has gone into the back of Sandeep and spun him round. Hit a corkscrew.
Wow. Drama here as Sandeep goes round. As you said, Nilton giving a bit of a tap. I'm just looking back on the replay now. So let me have a look. Oh, yeah, that's a... Ooh. It's an interesting one. I'm not really sure if Nilton meant that, or if maybe he just went a bit deep and locked up and just sort of stuffed that corner up, and maybe that's why that happened. As he's, oh boy, there's nearly a come together with Nico, so that was very close to both of them going off. They managed to keep it together though, and Nilton gets back past Nikos. And what this has done is given Sam Howe third spot. So Sam Howe has gone from fifth to third, and I'm sure he's loving that particular incident. What that has also done is let the leaders get away. It's 5 seconds now, Stephen Mitchell ahead of Golding, and then Golding now has got about sort of 7 seconds back to Howe. And then Sandeep Chodha there now is in fourth, with Nilton behind him again. Let's hope we don't have a repeat of the last lap. Nikos in sixth, and then it's Dogra, Theodorus, and then Vansis, who's a bit further behind in ninth. But that was an interesting moment there as they go in now, and I don't think Nilton has managed to hit him. No, it's fine this time around, so they managed to get through with no dramas. But I'm interested to see if that maybe gets looked at after the race as they go along. We'll soon find out. I don't know if it was. I would suspect there wasn't any meaningful vengeance in that move. I suspect it's probably just a mistake from Nilton. Speaking of mistakes, Sandeep goes deep into the last corner, and that's going to give Nilton a shot to get through. And there he goes down the inside. Nilton up another spot. Now that'll be effective fourth. As Sam Howe has gone into the pit lane for Tafor as he pits now, and I believe it looks like he's gone back out on the super soft again. So there you go. I should see as well if anyone actually uses the harder compound tyre. It's possible everyone will just use the super soft, and they might be finding that the harder tyre is not particularly good around here. Is also we have another retirement. It's your second retirement of the race, and oh boy, there's actually 2 of them that went off. Yeah. So it turns out, I'm just looking here, it says that 2 of them went off. There's 2 of the guys down the back. It was Hathasi there in the reserve car. He goes off on his own, and then Joel Piera just follows him straight off. It's a very weird accident. It's not really sure how he managed to... Oh, right. No, I know what they did. They've gone too wide. They've actually touched the dirt on the entrance to the kink, and what that's done is sent the car straight on. And that's sent it straight into the wall. Joel Piera's gone straight into the wall, lost his wheel, a big crash, and he's unfortunately retired for United Autosport Racing, so that's a bit of a shame for them. Some points gone begging, as Hathasi, by the way, had to pit there for damage. As we have more in the pit lane, oh boy, we nearly had a contact there between Theodorus and Sandeep as they were in the pit lane. So Nikos and Sandeep both into the pit lane, and where's Sam Howe? There he is, just exiting. It looks like he's managed to jump Sandeep, but he was ahead of him on track for the pit lane. Pit stop, sorry, which is not terribly surprising. He's beaten him out. Just what's going to be interesting is how much he's beaten him out by. He's beaten him out by a good second and a half, and Sandeep just slots in behind him, but in front of Vansis. So it's probably good for him, because he won't get held up behind that car, who hasn't pitted yet. Oh, look at that, Mitsalis and Nikos. Mitsalis has come out with Nikos. Oh, bit of lag there, sorry, but yes, Mitsalis has come out with Nikos. Nikos managed to get past there and keep that position in the Everest car. So unfortunately, the little undercut that I suspect Mitsalis went for hasn't worked, which is a real shame for him. And yeah, so he managed to hold that position. As I see a wheel, who is that? There's a wheel gone. It's Rolf Bass in the GBR car. I did see a wheel flying through the corkscrew. It's Rolf Bass has had some kind of a crash here in the GBR car. I'm just going to look what happened. Oh boy, that's dodgy. That's dodgy. So it looks like what's happened here is he's gone a bit deep into the corkscrew, and oh boy, he's hit Dogra. So unfortunately, Dogra's out of the race. He's just an innocent bystander there. He's going along. I'm pretty sure Bass has just gone too deep into the corkscrew. Again, I'm sure there was no vengeance involved in that crash. I suspect he's just gone too deep, and unfortunately gone at the back of Dogra, and they've both lost a wheel and both retired, which is a massive shame for those two there in that particular incident, especially because they weren't, of course, on the same lap. So bit of a shame there, but unfortunately such is racing. As actually, I'm looking at this battle for 14th between Hathasi and Michael Baldessaro. There are more contact between those two. I tell you what, there's a bit of contact going around at the moment. Although, as I said, it is a bit of a tight track. As Baldessaro, looking up the inside into the kink. That's a brave move there, and keeping in mind that just behind them is Laurent in the other reserve car, and then just behind them and coming up fast is that battle for third between Sam Howe and Sandeep Chodha. They're both battling away there, and they've just come up on this battle themselves, so this is going to be interesting. And there you go, Laurent getting out of the way very fast. He saw what was coming, but what's going to happen here? Look at these two. They are in a big old battle. No, it's good. There you go. So they get out of the way. Look at this Sandeep on the inside. He's taking advantage of this. He's up the inside of the final corner and gets the move done. A fantastic pass, but Sam goes for the undercut. He goes for the up and under there as they exit the corner. Who's going to have DRS? I'm not sure who is behind who at the DRS detection zone. Looks like Sandeep was ahead, and he's going to keep that position as someone that's a lap marker there. Oh, no, it's not a lap marker. That should be Theodorus. Yeah, he should be with them. Or is he not? Oh, Theodorus is... where is he? I'm trying to pick. There he is. Oh, he's down in 13th. So that's interesting. Obviously, Theodorus maybe had a little bit of a spin or a crash somewhere that I didn't pick up, which explains why he's further down the field. But anyway, back to this battle. There you go, Sandeep. Very opportunistic move there on Howe. He just sort of spotted him going slowly and just took advantage of I think quite a good showing of spatial awareness and that sort of thing, isn't it, really, Quentin?
Exactly. I could hardly keep up with where all the cars were and whatnot, so God knows how these drivers are doing it. So, and I just wanted to pick up on a couple of incidents we've seen at the corkscrew, and people are having to brake rather late into it, and considering these cars are at the moment 200 kilograms lighter or heavier than they were in qualifying just 20 minutes ago, so it's quite a shock to the system, and it's going to take them quite a while to get that, to burn off that fuel and learn where they can brake properly. And as you go into the corkscrew, there's a little bump, which is quite, in these F1 cars, you feel it quite a major amount, and you ideally want to be braking just after the bump or just after the crest. However, if you do that, you've got to be really, really good on the brakes, and that's the issue that some drivers are having, is they don't have enough brake pressure, or their setup is just slightly off. So they're applying the brakes, but the car's just not stopping them in time.
Indeed, no, it's very true. Yeah, it's always been a difficult corner. Of course, the corkscrew. It's a very hard corner to get right because of its difficult nature as a corner in general. So it's always something to keep an eye out for, as I believe we have... Oh, yes, there you go. Nilton has just pitted. I was about to say he was the last of the top end of the field to pit. Is actually Owen Golding has taken Stephen Mitchell somewhere. Hang on, let me have a look here what's happened.
It's into the final corner. Takes him just around the outside.
Yeah, Mitchell actually, I was just looking about the replay. Mitchell goes a bit wide into the second to last corner, and that gives Owen the chance to go around the outside and get the move done. So there we go, a change for the lead. Although it's interesting to know, because I swear Mitchell had about a 7-second gap there in the lead, so that's an interesting way that's closed up so much. But there you go, Owen Golding now leads for Insignia as he's got Mitchell right behind. I'm sure he'll be trying to get back. Chodha's still in third, by the way, for Adonis. He's managed to gap Howe there a little bit, so that battle has settled down. And then we've actually got a bit of a train here in sixth spot. It's our favourite car in the Spanish team, Stelios Vansis, just ahead of Nilton, but Nilton has just gone down the inside at the left-hander, quite an easy move. I'm fairly sure that Vansis hasn't actually pitted yet, so that's why he's effective a bit further ahead of where he was. And look at that, wow, look at the difference in speed. Nico's just flying up to the back of him there, and he might even get him around the outside of the corkscrew. Oh, nearly a bit of contact there. He gets the move done, a good pass in the end, but nearly a bit of a scary moment for those two as they go along. Vansis, as I said, I'm pretty sure he hasn't pitted, which is why he's a bit out of position there. As Mitchell, by the way, has gotten back past Golding there. Sorry about, didn't see that one.
That was a move in turn 6. I think Golding went a little bit wide onto dirt, and that just allowed Mitchell to get enough acceleration and speed to get past him for the corkscrew.
There we go. Okay, so there you go. Good spotting there, Quentin. I was too busy looking further down the field. I didn't actually see that happen, but Mitchell there now leads from Golding, and Golding actually made another mistake through the sweeping right hand there, and that's just cost him a little bit of time. And that's a bit of a gap back to Sandeep and Howe, and then Mitsalis, Nilton, who's dropped quite a ways off, actually. Nilton and Nikos have dropped quite a ways off now, remembering that they were sort of in that battle for a while. Vansis, by the way, has just pitted, and he's just come out in 10th. He should come out just behind or with Jared van der Wade there. I think, let me have a look. Yeah, he's going to come out just behind van der Wade. They're in 11th spot, and he's got quite a gap to Laurent, who's just ahead of the sole remaining GBR car, and then it's Baldassaro in 14th, Vedrit Yannick in 15th, and he is the last remaining driver. We've actually had another retirement that I didn't notice. It was Vilmos Hathasi there in the spare car. He's had an accident somewhere around the track, and he's retired as well. So we've got 15 left of the 20 cars at the start of this particular race of this season. And yeah, it's been a bit of an interest rate. Again, not too bad though. We're nearly at, I think 25. We're looking at about lap 29 or 28, isn't it? Yes, 28 will be the halfway mark, I believe. So we're only about 9 or 10 laps off the halfway mark of this race already. It really has flown by this time. But yeah, some fantastic battles already. That battle for third was quite something until it's sort of spaced apart now. Sandeep just seems to be able to have that better pace, and he's able to sort of gap Sam in that lead now. As actually, what I was thinking, while we have the time, actually, we'll do it next lap round. Next lap round, I think what we will do is it's hello. Just quickly, I've just noticed poor Baldessaro now has gone in the Tay4 car. That was oh boy, that's an interesting, ooh. Okay, right, so it looks like down to the right-hander there. So the leave turn 2. Looks like he's going to make a pass on Tamas, and unfortunately they've come together because Tamas has just sort of gone for the apex. Baldessaro has kind of gone for the inside, and I believe he just retired from that, doesn't he? Yeah, it looks like he's just retired with suspension damage. So it's a real shame for him. And yeah, there we go. What was your take on that, Quentin?
I think that might have been his game minimising because he put no steering angle. His steering angle remained relatively the same for that entire corner. So I think it's unlucky, but sometimes you have technical difficulties in sim racing.
Yeah, indeed. No, I have to agree. Actually, thinking back on the look at that, it did look like it was a bit of a game minimization. But what I will do really quick, while we have the time, we'll just do a quick lap of this fantastic Laguna Seca circuit on board with Stephen Mitchell, our leader, as he's just coming on the main straight now. So I'll just leave you to enjoy the sounds of these FS1 cars as he does lap of this fantastic circuit. Anyway, there's a lap of this Laguna Seca circuit on board with our leader, Stephen Mitchell, and that BRM car doing a fantastic job at the moment, ahead of Owen Golding, who's kind of holding station with him, by the way, in that second place. But the battle at the moment I'm watching is the battle for 5th spot between Tony Mazzalis in the second of the BRM cars and Nilton Gavio there in the spare car. They're battling away for 5th spot, and then behind them, by the way, is Nikos. But there you go, look at this. Nilton on the exit of the last corner has got a very good exit. He'll have DRS as well. So go down the main straight. We'll see if he has a look down the inside into turn 1, or he has a little bit of a peak, but decides not to make the move stick just yet. But I do believe that Nilton has better pace. Obviously, as I said, he qualified second spot. I was under a tenth of a second behind Stephen Mitchell, so we know he has the pace to be up there. So I suspect he'll be able to get past us, I would say, soon. I do think he does have better overall pace than Mitzalis does. So I would expect that move to be made relatively soon, but we'll just keep an eye on that. It's probably one of the closest battles in the field at the moment, as they're all going rounds now, and this sort of heading towards the middle stage of the race. Everyone just kind of settling in now to the rhythm of this American Grand Prix special event here at FS1 at SimLeague. And really has been quite an interesting race so far. Some interesting shenanigans have occurred with some interesting battles and bits of contact around the place. Of course, as we've said, it's a very hard track to get right, and especially down the corkscrew with that bump, it's very easy to stuff at the brakes and make a mistake as Nilton's pulled off to the side there. What has happened here? He's just put off to the side of the track and stopped, and he's out. He's DNF. That is very strange. What has happened there? He's just going along, no worries at all. Comes out of the corner and then just pulls it off and finishes it. That is interesting. What has happened there? That is a weird one. What's your take on that one, Quinn? Because that is a very strange retirement.
That's baffled me as well. I have absolutely no idea what that issue could have been.
It's DNF again. It's possible to minimize, but he was remarkably calm. If it wasn't minimized, he just kind of slowly put it off to the side and was no worries. It is technically possible that it could have been minimized as well, but that's a real shame for Nilton there. He's going along quite nicely in 6th spot there, but unfortunately, he's now retired from this one. That's a real shame for him in that spare car. As now one of the closer battles now, and I'm sure that you'll love this, Quentin, because I know you love to look at that Spanish car, is the battle between Van der Weyde and Vansis. They're in 8th spot. They're only about a second apart at the moment, remembering that I believe Vansis came out behind Van der Weyde in the pit stops, and so that's why they are like in that sort of formation. But they're only a couple of seconds between the two, as I believe they're actually about to be lapped by Steve Mitchell in the not too distant future, I would say. He's only a couple of seconds behind those guys. And then it's actually Theodorus is the next one behind. So Laurent behind them on track. He's not actually behind on the second. Actually, Van der Weyde goes wide through the right-hander there, and that is gifted. Vance is that 7th spot. So Van der Weyde down to 8th now. As I'll just have a look at what happened here. Let me have a look. I believe he just went wide. Okay, yep. So he's gone to a bit too wide, touched the dirt. And once you touch the dirt in these cars, you just go straight on. There's no real way you can stop that. So unfortunately, he's now dropped behind Vansis, but he is still in 8th spot, so it could be some points on for Hinds Motorsport here if that can hold. And Vansis, of course, I believe this is the first race of the Spanish team, isn't it, Quinn, in FS1? I'm fairly sure this season it's the first race of them, isn't it?
Well, to be fair, it's their first race. They only made their debut this entire 2015 year last week in the FS2 race in Germany, so, and it was Stelios Fantis racing for them then, and I love an underdog, so I'm secretly supporting them. I want them to do well.
Yeah, fair enough. Now it's always good to have an underdog come through and, to have a good race like that. It's always good to see, as I believe. Yeah, I'm just looking through. Where is Veteran? Oh, there he is, right. So Veteran, interestingly, he's behind a Veteran Yannick. He's behind Van der Weyde there on track, but he's not actually, that's not for position because Veteran is a lap behind, whereas Jared is still in the lead lap, but he probably won't be for long as Stephen Mitchell has just come out behind him now. He's leading below by 4.4 seconds. He's just opened that gap up again, and then it's about 9 seconds back to Chodha, then it's about another 3 back to Howe. Nikos is next in 5th in the Everest GP car, the sole Everest GP car. I believe they haven't had a second car actually compete in FS1 for a while now this season, so he's pretty much been the sole Everest car for most of this season. Then we've got Tony Metzalis and BRM car, the second of the BRM cars in 6th, and it's our favourite underdog, Stelios Vansis in that Spanish team car there. Very pretty, very colourful car, we'll say. He's there in 7th, and it's Jared Van der Weyde 8th for Hinds Motorsport. Theodorus there, Ezra Glow there in the sole surviving United Autosport Racing. I'll eventually say that right. A car in 9th, and then the sole surviving GBR racing car there of Mark there in 10th. And then Laurent is 11th, and then 12th is Veteran Yannick, and then last of the survivors at the moment is Tamas there in the again the sole racing and the sole starting FSR car in 13th place. And again, this is kind of that stage again, a bit like Monaco. We got to that stage where everyone kind of settled down. We all got into a rhythm, and everyone got into their groove, and that's kind of happening here again as everyone's just cruising along, just getting themselves going, and they're all just trying to link together those laps as we are pretty much now at the halfway mark. I think we're 1 lap off the halfway point here at the Laguna Seca race of the FS1 season. And so it's been a quite interesting race so far, that's for sure. I've definitely enjoyed myself. As while we have this time, I'm thinking, while we're at the halfway and while we're cruising along and everyone's a bit quieter now, we've got the sort of quiet zone of the race. We actually have someone in here for an interview in the booth. And that is Eric Stanford, the owner of GBR Racing, and he's here to have a couple of words with us. So, so I guess first up, how's the race been for you? Do you think? Yeah, obviously, Rolf Bass having a retirement, which is a real shame for you guys. But otherwise, how's this been for you so far, Eric? Obviously, Eric not there at the moment. It's a shame. I thought he was. There, obviously he's away at the moment, so that would explain that. Sorry about that, guys. I'm sure he'll be on later on to give us an interview, so I'll give you that later on in the broadcast. Sorry for the little confusion there, but that's okay. Actually, now that we've... that was why. I was wondering why Howard suddenly lost that time, but that's because he's actually pitted, as has Golding. They've both just pitted now for their second stops of the race, and I believe they're both back out on the Super Soft, so... Prime Tyre really isn't popular right now, Quinton, and I guess that'd be for good reason, wouldn't it?
Well, the medium tyre is being used a fair amount. About half the grid is running at the moment, but the super soft is giving that grip which they need around this track. And I know that speaking to one of my drivers, Sam Howe, he's struggling with overheating tyres because we're in the Californian desert right now, so temperatures are really, really high, and people are going to be struggling with the super softs. So I think people are going to be going for the medium because that's a more durable and it has a greater working range of temperatures. So, but it doesn't give that grip, and that's what some drivers prefer. They want more grip from the tyre than making it last. And we're going to get quite a strategy
And that's
battle
very
going
true.
on.
Yeah, Yeah. Oh, where are we looking here? Where are we looking at? Where are we looking on track? Sorry, I've been distracted. I know that where is it? It's at 12th actually. It's a bit close. It's between Yannick and Tamas. They're quite close for that battle for 12th. Pretty much for the wooden spoon at this point, because that is the last of the surviving cars. That's probably two of your closer guys at this point of the race. As Mitchell continues to lead, of course, he's got a bit of a gap now because Golding pitted last lap round. Mitchell staying up, so he's decided to not pit. He's about to come up and lap Van Sis in the Equo España car. So he's just lapping him now. Oh, about to lap him. I'm sure that Van Sis will get out of the way in the next couple of straights. And that means that we'll only have 6 left on the lead lap. So once again, it's all kind of spaced out a bit in this period of the race as everyone's just settling into their groove. Not to be confused with the Emperor's new groove. That's a bit of a different groove entirely right there. But yeah, they're settling into their racing mojo. And it's actually, that's interesting. The guys 11th, 12th, and 13th are actually all pretty close. They're all within about, sort of, I'd say about 10 seconds of each other there. As it's Laurent in the spare car, and then you've got the insignia car of Yannick, and you've got the FSR of Tamas there, and they're all on the same lap, and they're all within about sort of 10 seconds or so, probably even 6 seconds of each other there at the back end of the field, and that's probably one of your closer battles there. Theodoros, by the way, just pitting in the sole surviving United Autosport racing car, and he should come out well ahead of the last GBR car, who's actually pitted himself, so there you go, it wouldn't matter anyway. As I believe Mitchell is, still staying out, so he hasn't pitted yet. And Sam Howe has pitted, by the way, which is why he's dropped. Oh, no, he hasn't. Oh, has he? No, he hasn't. Sorry, I don't think he has. But as I said, Owen Golding has pitted, which is why he's dropped that time behind the leader. It's not because he made a mistake, it's because he has pitted. And yeah, as I said, it's all calmed down a bit, really, hasn't it? So, yeah, everyone just going along, trying to, as I said, get in their grooves, get in there. They're proper where they want to go. As I'm just going through, by the way, just while we're, as I said, got this quiet period, I'm just having a look through things. And Theodoros, by the way, is actually third in the championship in that United Autosport racing car. And what I find interesting is he's quite a gap. He's within striking distance, I'll be honest, of the top 2. But he is today. As I said, he's down, just pitted, of course, so he's probably a little bit out of sync at the moment because he's just pitted and a few others haven't. But he's sitting down in 9th at the moment. And, it's interesting is that he doesn't quite seem to have the pace here at Laguna Seca to really keep with the top guys. And so he's going to probably lose a few points to the leaders in the championship. But he does have a big gap behind him. He's got about 40 points or so behind Van Sis, who's the man in 4th. And actually, at this rate, by the way, if the results stay roughly as they are, I'm pretty sure that Nikos is going to... although, actually, he's only 1 position now ahead of Van Sis, so that might not be the case. But at the very least, he'll definitely close pretty much to Stevens with Van Sis at this point. If results stay as they are, he might even beat him. I'm not actually sure on that one. Excuse me, my maths is notoriously atrocious, we'll put it that way. And actually, just behind them is actually Owen Golding. He's only a point behind, actually only 2 points behind Nikos. In fact, those 4, Van Sis, Nikos, Mitsalis, and Golding, are all covered by 4 points. So very close there. And at this rate, with Golding being second, I would suspect he'll jump all of them. And he might even get up into that 4th spot in the insignia car with a couple of the guys being a bit further down. Which is interesting for the championship. Is actually, the last GBR car there, Mark's just gone round, unfortunately, had a bit of a spin. I'm trying to pick where that is. I can't actually tell from this camera angle where that is. That is...
The Andretti hairpin, turn 1.
Ah, yes. Yep, turn 1, yep. Good spotting there, Quinton. I'll just have a look back and see what happened here. I'll just look at the replay. It's interesting. He just kind of spins it on his own. My guess would be that what he's done is he's gone to accelerate and he's probably touched the dirt and that's just sent him around, would be my guess. I can't really think of any other way that that particular accident has happened, although he is actually... Is that a puncture he's got? Hang on, is that a puncture? Because that would explain why he's cruising around so much, because he's not even on the racing line. Let me have a look. Yeah, he's got a puncture. There you go. So that's what it is. He's got a right rear puncture, does Mark, which is a real shame for him. And that explains why he's limping around off the track. So real shame for him in GBR car, having a bit of a tough day at the office. But such is racing, I guess, and he will continue round. Probably take that back to pit lane, repair, get a new tyre, and he'll continue on. And hopefully he can get around without causing any sort of dramas for anyone else who's going around. We'll keep an eye on that one for you. But so far, he's managed to keep out of everyone's way. I'm sure he managed to do that all right.
Stephen Mitchell's is into the pit, so it'll be interesting to see whether Owen Golding can take the lead now. I think he may actually take the lead right now.
Yeah, look at that. You're right. Yeah, he's taken the lead again. So once more, he's taken that lead back again from Mitchell. He's taken it by quite a margin too. That's really surprising. They were together. In fact, Mitchell, of course, was ahead by a good 5 seconds, and now it's going to be Golding who's going to be ahead by a good 6 seconds or so. In fact, look at this, Sandeep Chodha is going to actually beat Mitchell out. So Mitchell goes down from first to third in the space of a pit stop. So that's very interesting. Yeah, there you go. Wow, that is a big change here at the front. So now it's Owen Golding leading for Insignia, and that's Sandeep Chodha and Stephen Mitchell is the man in third spot, and he's right behind Sandeep. I do suspect he'll be looking to get past soon. As we said, he did qualify on pole position at Stephen Mitchell. And I wouldn't be surprised if he can get past Sandeep soon. What's going on here? No, am I looking at the wrong person? Am I looking at Mitsalis? No, I'm not. Is that... What's going on here? Am I got this right? No, I do. Okay, right. That's for second. Sorry. It's just getting a little confused with the positions there. I thought I had the wrong battle, but no, it's okay. Yes, Mitchell is now third in that BRM car. And that's very interesting. That is, yeah. I wonder what's happened there, because he was leading quite comfortably. I wonder if he's maybe done an extra stop or something like that, which would maybe explain why he's down. But he's right behind Sandeep Chodha right now. I suspect he'll make that move pretty soon. Sandeep's going to go and cover the inside. He's going to fight for this second spot, which is fair enough. It is for position. Oh, they've nearly come together. Oh, and Mitchell nearly manages to go off, but he manages to get through the corner. Well done to both of them to keep that on track. That was a very scary moment for those two. They managed to keep it together. And Chodha now in second spot holds on with Howe, of course, behind in Tay4. And it's quite a gap. Oops, my phone just says a little bit of a spaz attack again, but there's quite a gap back to Mitsalis, who's in the second of the BRMs, and someone's in pit lane. I'm trying to pick who that is. Hang on a second, let me see. That is... it's Tamas, right, in the FSR car, just pitting there, and that was your man through the pit lane. And there you go, look at that. Mitchell, by the way, has gotten past Chodha. We'll just have a look where that happened. Yeah, it was down the left-hander there. The sweeping left-hand just goes down the inside, gets a better exit, and makes the move stick. Quite a regulation pass there, really, for Steve Mitchell. So he now moves up into second spot, but yeah. There's a little bit of lag there, sorry there. But yeah, Golding now leading, so that's a bit of a surprise there, Quinton. And do you think that's just genuine pace, or do you think maybe a mistake, or has he maybe pitted once more?
I think we've got a strategy battle going on right now, because last year we saw Jose Maria Lopez win with 3 pit stops, and then Sam Howe finished in second with 2 pit stops, but only 4 seconds behind, and then everyone else was lapped. And that was how close the two strategies were. And I think Owen Golding is going for a 3-stop because he's been known to be quite harsh on his tyres at many of the races before. He's complained about tyre wear and lack of grip throughout races. And so it'll be interesting to see if Stephen Mitchell is on for a 2-stop here.
Yeah, indeed. No, you've definitely hit the nail on the head there. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was sitting there going, I'm pretty sure it wasn't a mistake. I'm fairly sure it's strategy, and you're right. It seems like the strategy call is going on, as you pointed out, happening last season. It's happening here again with Golding looking like he's going for the 3, and Stephen looking like he's going for the 2, which is interesting to see. I'm interested to see how the others go too, because they might do a 2-stop potentially as well, although I doubt it. I think Chodha and Howe are probably going 3-stop just from their track position at the moment and their pit times. I'd suspect that they're doing a 3-stop. And I suspect that a lot of the field is probably doing a 3-stop, but we will find that out obviously later on. But I suspect that most are doing 3 stops. But yes, Golding now leading from Mitchell, thanks to the fact that he has one less stop. Mitchell, of course, is flying at the moment. He's catching up to him quite a rate, because, of course, he's on fresher tyres after his recent stop. But yes, it'll be interesting to see how Golden goes here, of course, on the differing strategy in that Insignia car. I'm going to be watching that closely to see who wins that battle. I don't know, who do you think's going to win it, from you personally, Quentin?
Honestly, it's too close to call. I think Stephen Mitchell, he could well go do it because Owen Golding's probably going to have to come back into the pits. So, and Stephen Mitchell's only 5 seconds behind, and then a pit stop here, 20 seconds, let's say roughly, give and take a couple of seconds. You're going to be losing that quite a amount of time, and can Golding make that up in the final stint on super soft? I take he will go for. That's debatable. But so I think Stephen Mitchell, this may be one hell of a return for him to FS1 in SimLeague, getting a win on his return.
Yeah, indeed, it's looking that way, isn't it? Because I would have to agree. I mean, he's going to lose that much time. It's going to be, what, about 15 seconds thereabouts when he pits, which is a massive amount of time, let's be honest, to have to regain. And that's, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he could do it. And as you can see, Mitchell is already flying up to him. It's 4.5 seconds now. He just keeps closing as he's being on those fresher tyres. So, you know, I really wouldn't... I don't know, it's a tough call to bring back that much time in what's going to probably end up being in sort of probably, I'd say, maybe 12 laps, probably thereabouts, somewhere in that range. Seems like lap 12 is sort of the favoured time for that 3-stop. Actually, it might even be 8-9 laps, because, of course, his teammate, who was it? His teammate Mitsalis came in, I think, on lap 9, and I'm going to guess that Golding will be on a similar-ish strategy. So if we go about 10 laps, then you're looking at about, you know, it's 10 laps to pull in 14 seconds of what would be even, it'll be even more at this rate, because as I said, Mitchell is closing rapidly. So you're looking at, what, 20 seconds in that space? I know, I think it's unlikely, I'll be honest, which is a real shame, because it does end what could have been a, you know, was looking at maybe a bit of a grandstand finish. But that's a bit of a shame, I guess, as Van der Way, by the way, I believe, has gotten back past Vansis in 7th, although I'm not sure if Vansis has pitted. He might be also on a different strategy to Van der Way, which may explain why he's gotten past, but we will probably find that out at race's end, I would assume. So, things have calmed down a bit now, as, oh boy, hello, there's one of the GBR cars. Mark there just going around out of the corkscrew. I just saw that as I was going through the field. Thankfully, no contact. Looks like he's managed to just do that on his own, so no contact with anyone else. So that's good to see that he's managed to get that back on track without causing anyone any harm. As Sam Howe, by the way, has just pitted for Tayfor. That will be definitely his last stop of the race, as he now re-enters onto the track, and he'll come out well ahead of Mitsalis, as he's quite a way back there. Mitsalis in 5th spot, so he'll easily beat him out in the sole surviving Tayfor.
It's interesting that he's gone on to the medium for this final stint, because he was complaining to me that he had very poor, he was overheating the tyres, and when you start overheating the tyres, the grip just goes, and then you start wearing them out a lot quicker. And it's been quite interesting to see he's gone through this entire race with super softs on, but now he's gone on to the mediums for this final stint. But to be fair, those mediums are going to give him that length and durability he wants for these final 16 laps.
That's very true, yeah. No, it's interesting that he has changed things up a bit, but I suspect he's probably realised that with his strategy, he sort of had to do the mediums at some point, because otherwise we'd have had to do another stop. And would have just been awkward timing, because it would have basically put on the super softs and then not fully worn them, and so it's kind of defeats the purpose of having that particular strategy. So, yeah, no, I think that's probably why, because it just fits his strategy better. As Sandeep, by the way, pitting from 3rd, he should theoretically stay ahead of Howe, but I reckon Howe's actually closed in on Sandeep there, and that gap, I swear, is not as big as it was. In fact, I wonder if Howe can maybe challenge him around the outside. He's going to get a good exit. He is. He's going to be right behind Sandeep as he exits pit lane. So that's closed up big time now for that battle for 3rd, because that was a good 4 or 5 seconds, that gap, and now they're pretty much line astern between Adonis and Tayfor there, and that battle for 3rd is also Nikos there in the Everest GP car. He's just pitted again there, and again probably will be his final stop, and he should come out in 6th spot. He's quite a ways clear of Van der Wade, who is in Seventh, as also, there we go, Golding is in. So he's in for his final stop. And that is a bit earlier than I was kind of expecting. I thought he'd go on the super soft, but I'm assuming he's on the medium. Obviously, spectating, I can't see the tyre compound, but is he on the medium, Quentin?
Yeah, he's gone on to the medium too. It seems everyone's going on the medium late in this race. I mean, if I was racing, I'd be going to the super soft. To be fair, I'd be making my middle stints last a little bit longer, and then go for a really quick time at the end. But everyone's going for the medium, so quite interesting to see how it's going to play out for everyone.
Yeah, indeed. No, it's no, I agree. It's interesting. It's not what we were expecting. I was expecting Golding to sort of put on the super soft and go for that last charge, but it just seems he can't make it happen. He obviously couldn't stretch the tyres, and he's just gone, oh, I'll have to go the medium, and he's now 13 seconds off Mitchell, and I just can't see that being closed, especially when they're both on the same compound. You know, we know that Mitchell is a pacey, and on the same compound. I don't think that he can really challenge us. So at this point, Mitchell really needs to keep it on the straight and narrow, and he's basically got the win secured. So fortunately, it's looking a bit sort of a dull end to the race in terms of the battle for the lead, but the battle for third is still sort of happening, although Chodha's just gapped Howe a bit. And I do suspect that Chodha has better general pace than Howe, so I do think he'll be able to hold that third spot, as I believe he's managed to get over a second. It looks like he has. And so, yeah, and then also, who else? We've got Mitsalis and Nikos there. That's BRM and Everest. They are within a couple of seconds. They're not really battling wheel to wheel, but they are within a couple of seconds of each other, which is interesting to see. As I'm just looking through now, so everyone just sort of in their own, again, just kind of calm down again. Laurent, by the way, in that spare car, he's just in for what should be his final pit stop, presumably.
He's actually racing for Bluebird, but there's a few technical difficulties with skins and whatnot, so he's having to race in the spare car.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, we were talking about it before. Sorry, my memory's just forgotten that. Yeah, so he's actually for Bluebird Racing, which is obviously was a new team that came in partway through the FS1 season, but they have had some technical difficulties trying to get their livery in the game and getting it working. So unfortunately, they haven't used the spare car for the time being until we can get that Bluebird Racing car sorted and get it actually in the game. As who is that? I just saw someone. Oh, it was Mark right in the GBR, just having a bit of a moment out of the corkscrew. But yeah, that's why. Yeah, so that's why he's in the spare car. He's actually for Bluebird. So just keep that in mind. He's in 12th though, so that wouldn't be points at this time of the race. Obviously, it could change because there could be people who haven't stopped, haven't done their final stop yet. But yeah, there's an interesting note also, by the way. Van der Wade and Van Sis have come close together again. It looks like Van der Wade is actually closed in, and in fact, I reckon Nikos is closing on Mitsalis as well. So everyone's kind of coming together here as Chodha, though, as he's continued to keep that gap, so he's kind of stretched that out. But I do think Van Sis is definitely closed on Van der Wade, and I reckon Nikos is definitely homing in on Mitsalis there. So that's the battles for 5th and 6th and 7th and 8th. As, okay, right now I thought there was a bit of a moment there, but that was just me seeing things, so no need to stress. As, Van der Wade going a bit deep into the corkscrew, and that's going to gift Vansis a chance here, possibly getting into 7th spot. And yeah, look at that, Nikos is on the back of Mitsalis too, so we're trying to watch two battles here. I think we might, for the time being, go to Nikos and Mitsalis, because they seem to be slightly closer at the moment, so I think they're the battle watch. Oh, it's the with Nikos. Did he just go off? Yeah. Nikos is off. He's still going. It doesn't look like any damage. I'll also have a look in the replay here, see if he had any damage. What happened there? Let me have a look here. He's just going along behind Mitsalis. I'm going to guess he clipped the dirt. Yeah, okay, that's what he's done, yep. So it looks like Nikos has just managed to go a bit too wide on the entry to the kink, and he's just clipped the dirt. And once you clip the dirt, you go straight on these cars. And unfortunately, that's dropped him back. And I think he managed to avoid contact, though, with the wall. So, oh no! Oh, it's almost like... I think I may have just commentator's curse Nikos. Oh boy, he's going to still try to go around on 3 wheels. I hope he doesn't hold up the guys behind. He'll have to watch himself. Oh no, Theodorus. Oh boy, that was nearly contact. As it looks like he's going to actually try and limp that around the whole lap. And Mitchell there also trying to get past, so a bit of a confusing time there. Thankfully, they managed to get through that all right. But unfortunately, Nikos just lost the rear end on the exit of turn one, the last turn there. Just looks like, let me have a look. Yeah, just on the power too soon. It's that simple, just too much on the power. Off he goes into the wall. And lost a wheel, unfortunately. He's going to try and limp that round. I suspect he's going to try the lottery it is, R factor when you pit for when you're missing a tyre. If you pit sometimes, they'll repair that tyre. Sometimes they won't. It's a bit of a game of chance. So he's obviously going to try and chance himself on getting that tyre repaired and being able to continue. So real shame for him, but hopefully for his sake can keep it going. So it'll be points for Everest. Yeah, look at that. It's a bit of a crash there, Quinton, but it's almost like a commentator's cursed him, isn't it? Like just the moment I said it, off he went. It's I think it was the curse, wasn't it?
Perhaps, yeah. But I think there's going to be a lack of concentration coming in now, where they're going to be getting tired. They've been racing for almost 60 minutes now, so they're not professional athletes. They cannot do such in this sim racing is such a difficult task when you think about it. All the constant thinking, calculations. These guys haven't got engineers like some sim racers. These guys are having to play the engineer as well, work out their strategy as they're driving at the same time. So it's really mentally tough here in SimLeague FS1. So I think we're going to see a few mistakes creeping in here and there. Just maybe getting a wheel out onto dirt, as we saw in turn 6 with Nikos. He was trying to take a bit more speed through turn 6, but ultimately got too wide on entry and then went straight on, hit the dirt, went straight on.
Indeed, no, and I've just been watching him there. It looks like the lottery hasn't won, unfortunately. It looks like he hasn't won the lottery. Unfortunately, the tyre wasn't repaired, so he's had to retire that Everest GP car, which was a real shame because he was looking strong there for some good points for them to continue their run of points that he has been able to sort of amass over the course of this early part of the season. A real shame for him, unfortunately. Just as I said, just too much power, just a bit too much power, a bit too soon, which is very easy to do in these cars because they are just obviously so much power all to the rear wheels. It's very easy to put a bit too much on and then just go around, unfortunately, which is a real shame for him. I was looking very strong, but again, such as sim racing, unfortunately, it's a tough sport, especially here, as you said, been going for over an hour now. So concentration levels will be starting to sort of be tested and starting to drop, and this is sort of where those the attrition of racing in general just kind of takes over and where mistakes can happen. What this does do is it'll put Tamas in the FSR car, will put him back into the points, although I believe, is he on the same... Sorry, I'm trying to have a look here. Yeah, so Laurent and him are on the same lap, and Laurent's actually just caught back up to him, obviously having stopped. And again, he's in the spare car because the Bluebird Racing, their car obviously having some difficulties trying to get that skin in the game. So really, he's racing for them. So if he can get a point, that'll be a point for their team, not for the spare car or for no one. As I believe... we've just had Quinton timeout. That's awkward. Whoops, his connection's gone. I suspect SimRace should still be going, so you should still be seeing the shots coming through. I'm not quite sure he was focusing on, but apologies for this. Just Quinton obviously having some technical difficulties. I'll try and still sort of talk you through what's going on out there on track. What I can tell you is Stephen Mitchell is only 6.5 seconds clear of Owen Golding. It seems like Golding is actually... No. Oh, no, is that... Oh, that's Mitalis. Right, don't worry. I thought that was Mitchell, but it was Mitalis. Unfortunately, Mitalis is an engine failure. And, I'm trying to think. Oh, so he spun it into the... What's happened there? He's spun it into... I think Vedran has actually had one as well, has he? That is bizarre. Let me have a look here. Hang on. Sorry, I'm trying to... Yeah, Vedran's had one as well. So Vedran, Yannick, and... Mitalis appear to have had simultaneous engine failures into the corkscrew. So that is a bizarre little sort of events there for those two. Just a bizarre change of events, as I believe Mitalis spun in front of Yannick. His engine went, and then Yannick's gone past, and his engine's blown up. So almost a simultaneous synchronized engine failures for those two. But a shame for them, Mitalis especially. Was up in, I believe, about 5th spot, and he was having a good race for BRM and was on for some good points. So unfortunately, he hasn't been able to continue. It's a real shame for him. But actually, what is happening right now, Stephen Mitchell is being absolutely reined in by Owen Golding. I'm not quite sure what's happened here, because Mitchell had about a 10-second gap, so I have no idea what's happened here. But Golding is absolutely flowing up to the back of him. And he might even have a chance of getting the lead here. So this might, unfortunately, not be that fairy tale comeback we were talking about as somehow or other Mitchell has just been absolutely flown up to by Golding in this final stint as we're into the final 4 or 5 laps now of this Laguna Seca race here in FS1, the American Grand Prix. And it's looking like Golding might actually get him. I don't know what's happened to Mitchell, but he just seems like his pace has dropped just completely off. I'm not sure what's going on for the BRM driver, but unfortunately, it's looking like Golding might actually get him here as he's right behind him to come down the back straight. He's going to have a look down the inside. He'll chuck it left, probably. No, he doesn't. He was thinking he'll chuck it left and have a look, but he doesn't actually have a look down into the left-hander. And he's having to hold station, but he's looking extremely vulnerable right now. Stephen Mitchell, I'm not sure what's going on. It's actually Golding making a bit of a mistake through the kink, and that's just giving Mitchell a bit of breathing space in the lead. So this battle really kicking off, and Sandeep behind. He's still clear of Howe, but Howe, I reckon, has just closed in a bit on Sandeep. So all the battles are beginning to really close up. As by the way, those retirements that have happened in this latter half of the race, they've helped out a couple of the guys at the back end of the points. They've helped out people like Van der Wade. He's in 6th now for Hens Motorsport, so some good points there for them in their campaign in FS1. And then you've got our favourite driver, our favourite colourful Spanish team, Equo de Español. He's sitting in 5th in that car now, and in their debut in FS1, they could well be on. As the points as Golding goes past, there you go in the right-hander. Golding has taken the lead from Stephen Mitchell, which is unbelievable. So Mitchell had a lead of about 10-15 seconds, and somehow or other he's managed to, or somehow something is going on where Golding has managed to catch up and pass him. So drama here at the later stages of the race as Golding now might just snatch this fairy tale comeback from Mitchell, which is a shame for him. But I guess, again, such as sim racing, unfortunately, just sometimes it just doesn't go your way. As I said, Howe has kind of closed up to Sandeep behind, but Sandeep's still holding on to that 3rd spot. And it's Stelios in 5th, as I said, in that Spanish team car there in their debut. Might get a 5th spot, which is quite a debut, I must say, quite a statement, I think, for them as a team to have a 5th spot. If you can hold on to it, of course, we've still got a few laps to go. But if you can hold on to that 5th spot, that's a fantastic start to them in their FS1 campaign. And it's Van der Weyde behind him, Theodorus behind him as... Okay, no, that's right. Sorry, there was a movement of the lap cars. They're just passing the guys who had engine failures. By the way, another battle going on is Tamis and Laurent there. It's over 8th spot. And they're battling for that spot there. 2 laps down, or 3 laps down off the pace, but they're both on the same laps. This is 4th position in that FSR car, just trying to hold back what is effectively for Bluebird. Remember, again, Laurent, thanks to those difficulties getting the Bluebird skin organised. That's why he's in the spare car, not in the Bluebird racing car. He looks to the inside, or he has a look in the left-hander, but pulls out of it. Decides it isn't worth it, and so he's going to not make that move. And actually, Stephen Mitchell's gotten back past Golding, so there's a change for the lead again. That battle continuing to develop, and it looks like he got him through turn 1. Yep, so DRS managed to go around the outside and pull a similar to move to what Milton did to Howe earlier in the race. Just hold it around the outside of the first corner and then have the inside for the right-hander. And that's how he's made that move. As he's now, look at this, Golding back on the back of him. He might even get back here and try the same thing that Mitchell just did to him here. As he's going for the outside, I reckon he's going to try. I don't think he's going to hold it, though. Or is he? He's looking like he might actually hold it. That is a brave move. Oh, they leave room. Just some good racing here. Close, clean racing, and Golding down the inside. He's got it. Golding back in the lead in Insignia. And this battle for the lead is really kicking off. And again, Howe and Chodha behind there now battling as well. It's unbelievable here as Laurent, is he just pitting? No, what's going on here? Laurent has stopped. Oh, no, his engine. Oh, no, Laurent's gone. Laurent has had an engine failure in that spare car again, which is effectively for Bluebird Racing, and he's unfortunately an engine failure. He's trying to crawl into the pit lane. I'm pretty sure that they won't really be able to fix a dead engine, unfortunately. So it's a shame for him. He's unfortunately had to retire the race, and that's a shame for him because he was looking good there in, I believe, the 8th spot at the time. And so, yeah, look at that. But interesting stuff here at the lead as Golding has managed to get back at Mitchell. And look at this. Here we go. Mitchell's got another good exit. He'll have DRS as they go down the straight. I'm interested to see if he can get back at him. And again, that battle for 3rd has kicked off with Chodha having been caught by Howe. So, 2 battles. Ooh, bit of lag, sorry there. Looks like Golding's going to keep that lead for the time being. Look at this behind. It's battle for 3rd spot. Sandeep Chodha and Sam Howe going at it. Sam Howe's got DRS, but he's not really close enough to have a look, and he won't do it. But I believe we're actually on the final lap, by the way. So this is how quick this race has gone past. We're on the final lap right now. And Golding is leading at this point. It's looking like he might well pull Stephen Mitchell's return win here after looking so dominant throughout the race and having pole and leading for most of the race. Golding has managed to pull the card here at the end of the race, and he might, as long as he can just hold it together, he's going to win here at Laguna Seca for Insignia. As we come around now, he's just going through the corkscrew now with Mitchell just behind. Unfortunately, as you can see, Mitchell dropping off. It's looking like it is indeed going to be Insignia win, his first win of the season in FS1 to break the Sam Howe, Sandeep Chodha sort of domination so far of this season. It's looking like Insignia Racing again the first win in FS1. Look as he breathes the wheel in celebration. It'll be Owen Golding winning here at Laguna Seca. Wins for Insignia, their first win in FS1 for this season. A fantastic result for him. What a drive. Stephen Mitchell will hold on to he'll hold on to second place for BRM. Sandeep Chodha will be third for Adonis. Another good solid drive for him. Some solid points for his championship. As some drama here at the end. We've had Sam Howe run out of fuel, it would appear, in the latter half of this race. He ran, looks like he has, or has he? Because it's looking like, he spins into the corkscrew. That's interesting. And then obviously, so I think what's happened is he's run out of fuel, spun into the corkscrew, and he's run out of fuel, so that's a real shame for him. He should still classify, because again, he has done over 90% of the race. I'm pretty sure he'll still classify in fourth, so it's still a fourth spot for him, despite that last lap incident. So he'll still get fourth for Tafel, so that's a good result for him. They'll again help his championship. Stelios Vansis in that Spanish team car there, in their debut in FS1, getting a fifth spot, some fantastic points for them. That's quite a debut, I must say, for them in the main Premier League after their debut last week in FS2, so great stuff for him, well done. Jared van der Wade gets sixth for Hins Motorsport, so some good points for them again in their campaign. Seventh is Theodorus Azraglo there in the United Autosport Racing, another good result for him. Continues to help him in his championship fight, so it should keep him in third spot in the championship. Tamas there, third for FSR. Eighth for FSR, not third. Eighth for FSR there, some solid points for him. Good stuff for him. And then ninth spot, Mark. You have to remind me again, as Quinton's just rejoined, by the way, after having a bit of a disconnect issue. We'll talk about that in a minute, Quinton. But what was, how do you say Mark's last name again in GBR? I've forgotten to say it already.
I think.
Right, yeah. Thank you. Sorry again, Mark. I'm sorry if I'm getting it wrong. I am trying my best. My memory is just a bit shocking at times. But yes, he managed to come home in, I believe, ninth spot. So he was 5 laps off the pace, but just, that just shows, you just survive and just stay out of trouble, and there you are in the points. So some good points for GBR, and that's well done to him. And he's actually the last of the survivors, as Laurent, again, he retired about 5 laps from the end, so I suspect he'll classify as a finish, and he should get a point for Bluebird. So at least they get a point out of this one. But a shame you just had that engine failure in the dying laps of the race. And then there the rest of the time, it's Bitsalis, Yannick, Nikos, Nielsen, Baltasaro, Vilmos, Dogra, Bass, Piera, and Menno Klonsa. The rest of your retirements, a high attrition rate here at Laguna Seca, but there we are. We are done. As I know you just had a connection issue there, Quentin, which is a shame, but just missed the end. Turns out Owen Golding actually won that one from Stephen Mitchell. I'm not quite sure what happened. He just somehow closed in about 15 seconds in the space of about, I think it was about 8 laps. So I didn't actually see if there's any mistakes. I suspect it's possible that Mitchell maybe made a mistake somewhere, and that's maybe why Golding was able to catch. But yeah, so Golding wins for Insignia. That's their first win of the season. So great stuff for them, isn't it?
Exactly. That's Owen Golding's first win ever in FS1. So that's very impressive. And I'm quite surprised that you actually said that just now, because I did not expect him to be able to close down to Stephen Mitchell so quickly. I'm sorry guys, the power disconnect sometimes happens, one of those things. Can't deal with it apart from try as hard as we can to get back.
Yeah.
But I'm just looking at the race results. Quite interesting to see where everyone is finished. Hins Motorsport finished fairly well in 6th. Jared finishing up there. Good points to them.
Indeed, no. Obviously, I try and be obviously unbiased on the broadcast, but obviously it's my team. And yes, that's good for us. I'm happy we got that 6th spot. That'll be good points for us. As I know, our FS1 campaign's been a bit dogged so far with points. We've been a bit lacking in getting points, but that's good for us. I'm happy with that. Well done to Jared, a really good drive. And yeah, that's fantastic. But yeah, there you go. I think by the looks of it, I'm just looking in the chat, and I did see something from Stephen Mitchell. He just said a comment. Let me have a look. Where was it? Sorry, I was trying.
There was a crash that you had to slow right down for.
There you go. Yep, and I think he also said he had no front tire left. Apparently, so apparently he must have. I suspect maybe he had tire wear potentially. Is what he's trying to say there. Maybe his tires were a bit worn. That's why he was struggling on pace and just struggling to hold Golding back. But there you go. So yeah, there you go. Insignia win here at Laguna Seca. What a bit of a headline, really, because as I said, up until this point in the season has been Sam Howe and Sandeep Chodha. They've been the only two winners so far this season in the first 6 rounds with 3 apiece, and now we can add Owen Golding to the winners list for Insignia. So that's fantastic for him, really. Honestly, a really good drive, obviously, to win this one. A bit of a come from behind victory, really. Obviously, being in second spot and just kind of cruising along there for most of the race, and then there he was in the lead at the end. So some fantastic stuff for him. But still a great return for Stephen Mitchell, isn't it, to get that second spot for BRM?
Exactly. Considering he hasn't raced for over a year and hasn't raced consistently every event for over 2 years, it's very impressive to jump in. Pretty much, these aren't brand new cars since he only had one race last year. I think it was at Laguna Seca where he done it, but he didn't perform too well back last year. But to come back and get second, that's impressive.
Yeah, indeed, no, I agree, and that I think will show that's just a great signing from BRM to sign him up. A really good job for them to have him signed up. And again, they were looking at getting some good points, but unfortunately, Metzalis, they're having that engine failure. The simultaneous one, he had one pretty much at the same time as Yannick did, at the same spot at the corkscrew. It was a bit of a shame for him, as he was looking good for some good points for BRM. But again, with them in second spot, it's going to... I don't know if I'm lagging or if that's the server. Let me have a look at my connection on TeamSpeak. No, I'm fine. Okay, it's obviously the server moving on, I suspect. But yeah. Yes, no, interesting stuff. And yeah, so BRM should, I suspect, keep the constructors. I'm just going to have a look through my little notes here again, courtesy of Quinton. Again, thank you very much for the notes. They always are very helpful for helping me out and knowing what's going on. Yeah, BRM, they are sitting behind United Autosports at the moment, but I suspect with that result from Mitchell, I suspect that they might well jump him, I think, now. And I'm pretty sure that they should take that spot from Autosport, and so they'll put them in third in the constructors, or in the team championship, sorry, with Tafor leading from Adonis. And I suspect they'll stay the same, as Howe was only one spot behind Sandeep, so I think that they will keep that team lead. And yeah, it was interesting as well, as was pointing out while you disconnected there, was how seemed to run out of fuel on the last lap. So again, because he was on the last lap and because he's done, I believe, over 90% of the race, he should classify in 4th spot. But yeah, that was a interesting little twist at the end, as he was trying to battle with Chodha there, just having a little failure, a little run out of fuel at the end. So a bit too tight on fuel, it seems. But again, a good drive to Chodha as well to get that 3rd spot, so good points for Adonis once more. And I think, what I think is one of the, not necessarily surprised, because we know Stelios is quite a fast driver and definitely quite a talent here in the FS1 series. But for that team, in their first ever outing, after just a week after their debut in SimLeague at FS2, to get that 5th spot in the end for them, thanks to retirements, it's quite an effort, I think, in their first race in FS1, don't you think, Quentin?
Exactly, and I love a livery. I love the underdog feel of the team, so I hope they go further and start getting a lot of points for it, finishing 5th. 10 points on the board already in their first race.
Indeed, no, it's quite an impressive start. So I'll just try again. I wasn't here before, but I'll try again if he's here now. Eric, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Cool, right, sweet. So we can finish with this interview. I think that's a nice way to finish this off. So obviously you're the owner of GVR Racing here in the SimLeague FS1 and FS2, of course, series, because teams have to do both series. So obviously not the best one for you guys. Obviously Bass retiring relatively earlier on, but some points for Mark. So I wouldn't say it was a complete disaster every weekend. But how was your thoughts on that race?
Quite exciting to watch, really. The battles for the lead in the last few laps with Owen and Steve. Bad luck for Rolf, though. I'm sure he'll bounce back in the next race, and I'm glad I actually got Mark to fill in for me, getting a couple of points for the team.
Yeah, indeed. No, it was a good feeling drive. As I said, he wasn't it was quite a ways off the pace and was I think about 5 laps down by the end. But I mean, at the end of the day, you survive. You can in the end get points thanks to other people's misfortunes. So yeah, survival is the name of the game. But I guess I'll ask as well about the season ahead, because I know you guys, I believe. Let me just get my notes real quick here. Where are we? GBR, right? Yeah, you guys are in ninth in the constructors at the moment, according to my notes. Just behind FSR, and of course ahead of the Bluebird, Equa, De España, and those guys. But in terms of the season ahead, for you guys as a team manager, what are you guys sort of your expectations for the rest of the season in FS1?
As it stands, this is only our first season, so we're just looking to grab as many points as we can, really. Anything close to a podium, that's basically going to be a bonus for us.
And that's very true. Yeah, no, it's pretty much the name of the game when you're first starting out. Just get those points and just try and sort of cement yourself as a place getter in the series. And yeah, so I guess I'm trying to think of anything else. I'll ask that as well. Actually, what is your on the calendar for this season? What's your favourite track that the FS1 series goes to?
My favourite track's got to be Interlagos.
Yep, no, it's a fantastic track actually. No, it's a good pick. I'd probably pick a similar one. It's one of my favourites for sure. It's a bit of a classic at the F1 stable, definitely. It's definitely a fun track to go around, I must say. And it always produces close racing because Interlagos tends to be its great catch of that. But yes, so thank you for coming in, Eric. Thanks for the interview. Always good to interview the team managers of FS1 and hear their thoughts on things. So thank you for that, Eric.
No worries. Probably see you again soon.
Yep, for sure. Yep, hopefully, and I wish you guys luck for the rest of the season too. Wish your team the best of luck, and hopefully we can see some great results for you guys.
Thank you very much.
No worries at all. So I guess that pretty much closes off, doesn't it? So I guess now this is the time where we ask you, Quentin, what are your final thoughts after this race?
Well, we had an epic race at the beginning. Action left, right, and centre. I didn't know where to put the camera, to be fair. We had so many overtakes going on, so many close battles, and as we expected from the qualifying pace, everyone was so close on the race pace as well. So, and then of course, we had this shock win for Owen Golding. It's even more of a shock just to come back and find out he has won. But it's brilliant that we now have a new winner in the 2015 series of FS1.
Yeah, no, indeed, I agree. I pretty much echo that sentiment. Yeah, it's great to see that we've got a new winner, first winner in FS1, and for this season, it's really good to see a bit of variety because that's always nice. Really spices things up in the championship. He has always looked pacey this season, Owen, and I was kind of expecting that it was on the way at some point because he has looked very good pretty much all season long. But yeah, there you go. So a win for them, and first win for Insignia of this season. They win here at Laguna Seca, and again, a fantastic drive to him. But again, a great drive to Steve Mitchell on his return to AFS Run Racing for BRM to get second spot. Is a very great job to him. And again, Sandeep Chodha in third. Another solid drive for him for Adonis. Some more solid points for them and for his championship hopes. But that is going to do us for the Laguna Seca round of the FS1 series. Again, a great race. Hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast. It was great to commentate on, I must say. A very, very entertaining race. Definitely was definitely keen for the next round, which is what's the next round, Quinton? I should know this, but
I should know it too. I think it is Canada. It's Canada.
Yeah, okay,
checked this earlier.
Yeah, no, it's Monaco. Then obviously the special round. Monaco was the last one. That's Monaco. Then it's obviously Austria was the last round. That's this one, special round, and next up is the Canadian Grand Prix at the Montreal circuit. Wow, I don't know about crowd favourite, but definitely a driver favourite. I know there's not many people I ask. I'll ask a lot of people about Montreal, ask them, what is it one of your favourite tracks, or what is the track you like? And pretty much everyone I've asked always says they like the track. There's not many people that don't like that track, and I guess it's just the way it is. It is just such a fun track to drive around. And so, yeah, as I said, that it does us for the broadcast of Laguna Seca special round of the FS1 series. Again, as I said, Owen Golding, the winner for Insignia Racing. I hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time at the Canadian Grand Prix for the next round of the FS1 series. On behalf of myself and Quinton Plain, we wish you guys, hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and we'll see you next time in 2 weeks' time. So, bye for now.